What's going on, stackers? So in this video I'm going to share with you 5 tips that has helped me make $10,000 plus from one colouring book over on KDP. So, welcome back to Stacking Profit. My name's Paddy, and over here we give you the tools and resources to learn, grow and master passive income streams so that you can live a life of freedom. Now, like I said in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that have helped me make $10,000 plus just from one colouring book here on KDP. Now, this is actually a huge milestone which I've just reached within my own low content book publishing business, and that's having 2 books that have now created $10,000 plus in royalties from those 2 books. Now here we are on my lifetime earnings. I've just scrolled down so you can see this before actually getting into the tips. I've also got another tab opened where we're going to be taking a look at my stats for my colouring book. So, right here we can see 2 of my best-selling books of all time. My first one being this top one, where I've sold 4,300, making $10,409. Then my second one, the one that this video is all about, is my best-selling colouring book. So right here, I've sold 4,900, making that $10,000 plus just from one book. Now, like I said in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that have helped me create that $10,000 plus just from one colouring book. Now, the tips that I'm about to share with you can also be used with any type of low and no content book, not just colouring books. Now, here we are in another tab opened. I've opened this tab just as my pen name. So this is one of my colouring book pen names. Over all time, which is about 1 year now, as we can see just here, I've made $13,000 plus with this little mini brand over on Amazon. Now, if we scroll down to here, we can see my colouring books under this brand, and there it is. There's the best-selling book that I've sold, which again has gone on to make $10,000 plus. Now, let's get into these tips. I'm about to share with you 5 tips that have helped me create this income. So, tip number 1, niching down. That's one of the ways that has really helped me sell my books, and it's one of the ways that has really helped me sell $10,000 plus, or earn $10,000 plus from that one book. That's niching down. So let's go over to Amazon, because this is something that most people do not do when they're trying to create their books. Now, this all comes down to research. We are going to be talking a little bit about research as well, but niching down is vital. It is vital to sell your books. You need to know what type of book you're creating. You need to know the niche that you're creating the book in, and then who that book's targeting, the demographic. So right here, all I've typed in is colouring books. Now, in fact, let's do this. Let's take away the S and just put colouring book, because right here we can get so many ideas. Let's do that again. So right here, again, you want to do the book type, the niche, and then who's it for. That's niching down. So right here, we can see colouring book for kids ages 4 to 8. That's kind of niching down, but there's no niche to go along with that. So right here, we could do animals, sports, hobbies, things like that. Let's think of a hobby. Okay, so let's do basketball. So that's the niche. And then we know the type of book, which is colouring book, and then we need to know who we're actually going to create the book for. Right here, we can see adults, kids ages 8 to 12, boys, girls, toddlers. These are all different types of demographics that you can create your books around, and this is how you niche down. So too many people, when starting to try and create a colouring book, they're not niching down. They don't really understand the concept of niching down, so they don't really make very many sales. The book that has helped me create $10,000 plus, the colouring book, is really niche down. It's a colouring book in a certain niche, targeting a certain demographic. So that's one of the biggest takeaways and one of the best tips that I can give you is to niche down. So that's tip number 1, niching down. Now, tip number 2, and that is being unique. Being as unique as you possibly can. See, there's so many copycats when it comes to publishing low content books because they think that's the easy way out, just copying what someone else has done. Well, that's completely the wrong way to go about it. The more unique that you can be, the better chance you have of creating an income for yourself. See this is selling really good. We can see, if we hover just here, that it was published last year, March the 6th. It has 60 pages, but it's selling really well. And all it is, if we look just here, is a motivational swear words colouring book. Now, I'm not too sure if too many people have actually put this quote on a cover. I'm guessing they have now, but I'm also guessing that these were the first people to actually have this quote on a colouring book. Again, the more unique that you can be, the better chance you have of making sales. If you're not going to be unique, you're going to struggle and find it really, really hard. What you want to do is put in the research and create books that are really unique to you. That way, people are going to copy you instead of you copying other people. So this, as we can see, I'm not going to say that on this video, but this was probably really unique to the marketplace at the time of them publishing this book. Now, if we scroll down a little bit more, take a look through some of these results, like so, we can normally see that the best selling colouring books, or the best selling books in any niche, are the ones that tend to be unique and first to market. So again, if we scroll up to round about here, we can see that this again was going to be, or probably, really unique when this was first published. And now you get all the copycats trying to copy. If we take a look through a little bit more, right here, so look at that, there's 7,000 reviews on this. This was published in 2016. And I'm guessing, well, it still looks really unique. So the more unique that you can be when publishing your books, the better chances you have of selling those books. So just be as unique as you possibly can and make your covers stand out on Amazon. Now, if we go back to here, I just want to pull up this one again, because most of my colouring books have some type of quote on the front cover. But this quote is very unique, or all the quotes that I use are all very unique and have not been done on other colouring books. And again, that's one of the best tips I can give you, because that's one of the ways that helped me sell a lot of books, being unique. The third tip is paying for your graphics and fonts. Now, if you're just starting out publishing low and no content books, then you don't really need to worry too much about paying for your graphics or your fonts. You can still do everything for free, but then as soon as you have royalties coming in, start investing that into your business for better tools, graphics, and also fonts. Now, why is that? Why is tip number 3, buying your own graphics and fonts? Well, this kind of falls under being unique. Now, here we are on Creative Fabrica. If you want to check out Creative Fabrica at all, and possibly even get a subscription, we do have a $1 30-day trial down in the description. After that 30 days, After that 30 days, it renews at $19. Now, at any point you ever want to check that out, we always have that link down in the description. Now, Creative Fabrica is my favourite place to get my graphics and my fonts and everything for my books, because I have a membership, so I can come in and download things at no extra cost. But if we come over to here to the font section, we have all these different categories just here. But let's go to fonts. Let's click on there. We can see how many different types of fonts are here, and then you can actually go through, start looking them, try and finding the fonts that you like that you can create your books around. Because again, the more unique that you can be, the better. If you're publishing low and no content books, trying to do it for free, Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still create an income, but that's what every single other person is trying to do. Most people don't want to reinvest into their business, which in turn doesn't really make good quality designs. If you're paying for your fonts, like these fonts just here, you're going to be more unique. Because with all of the people that are trying to produce books for free, they're going to be very, very similar. They're going to be using very similar graphics and very similar fonts. Paying for your own eliminates this, and it's going to make your books more unique. So this is why I personally love paying for my fonts and for my graphics over here on Creative Fabrica. Again, because it all comes down to being unique, and chances are when I research my fonts and my graphics, there's not going to be very many other people, maybe even none, using those fonts. Because if we look here, there's 79,000 fonts here on Creative Fabrica. So I can go through 79,000, find the ones that I like, and then create my books around that. So that's the third tip that I'm going to give you, is just buying and purchasing your own fonts and graphics. The fourth tip is keeping your book, your colouring book, congruent. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, here we are on Creative Fabrica. Let's go to graphics. Let's go to colouring books for adults, because it's only fitting within this video as my best selling colouring book is for adults. But what I mean when I say keep everything congruent, well, I mean don't mix and match. Now, what I'm seeing across the board with so many people, especially if they have a Creative Fabrica account, is they mix and match their colouring pages, and it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look congruent, and it looks like you've just grabbed a bunch of crap from online and just merged it all together. That is a no-go. In fact, we can't really do it on here. Let's go to graphics. Let's go to colouring books for kids. What I see a lot of people doing is mixing and matching their colouring pages. They're getting their colouring pages from here on Creative Fabrica, and then they're mixing and matching, and the styles do not add up. So if we look here, this is a seller. I'm not going to say that because I can't really say that, but this is a seller and this is a different seller. So these two sellers are going to have two different styles. Now, if you take those two different styles and then try and create a book around it, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look professional. So what you want to do is keep your books congruent. How do we do that? Well, we stick to the same designer. So right here, we could use this designer, go through all their graphics and their colouring pages, and then use them, because chances are, if they are a real designer, they're going to have a very similar style, and all of their graphics or colouring pages should look the same. Again, congruency. Don't mix and match. That's what produces a poor quality book. Now, with me personally, with my adult colouring books, if we go here, if you want to know how I create my colouring books, we do have a course. You can buy that course separate or part of the Vault. The Vault is a much better choice because there's a lot more content in there. But again, we do sell our simple colouring books course all by itself. Now, if you want to check them out as well, there will be a link down in the description. Now, when it comes to my colouring books, my adult colouring books, what I do is I find these types of pages. These types, look, there's 250 here. So if I were to download this, let's just scroll down. If I were to download this bundle of 250 colouring pages, I would then mix and match this one bundle throughout the book, and then create my graphics, my quotes on top of these with very similar fonts. Again, keeping everything congruent. That's one of the main problems that I see when people trying to create colouring books, is that they just don't keep their books congruent. Their cover looks completely different from their inside, their interior, and then their interior is all mixed and matched because they found it all online. And again, nothing is congruent and it doesn't look very professional. So that's the fourth tip that I'm going to give you, and that's keeping your books congruent. That's what's helped me sell my books, because they look professional and they're not all mixed and matched. So the fifth and final tip, which I want to share with you, is enjoy the process. See, I see too many people trying to start low content book publishing, but they don't really have much interest in it. All they're seeing is other people smashing it, like myself, or making money from KDP and low content books, and then they're just doing it to follow the money. If you don't enjoy creating books or doing the research, then please do not publish books. There's no point doing something that you do not enjoy. With me personally, I've sold this book just here and sold $4,919, making that $10,000 plus. But this book just here, when I was creating it, I was really enjoying the process. I was enjoying the research because it was funny quotes, a certain type of quote that I was looking for. So I was enjoying the research, I enjoyed creating the cover, and I enjoyed creating the interior. I had fun creating this book. I create books because I really enjoy the process. If I didn't enjoy creating books, then I would not create books. Pretty simple. But a lot of people do not grasp this concept, and they're only trying to publish books because they see other people making and selling, making royalties with their books. So, if you've made it this far and you've listened to all my 5 tips, the key takeaway that you should take away from this video is, if you're not enjoying creating books, then stop doing it. Find another business that best suits you. Because if you're trying to do something that you don't really like or you enjoy, you're not going to get very good results. And it will show in your books. It will show in your interior, in your design, your keyword research, and everything else. If you enjoy the process or learn to enjoy the process, you will get a lot better results. So that's my 5 tips that I wanted to share with you. I hope you take these away and actually implement them within your own business. And just remember, if you don't like doing something, then stop doing it. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, go hit subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you can be notified for any further videos. That being said, I've been Paddy, this has been Stacking Profit, and I'll see you again soon.